Dan RadioStyle, hope everybody out there's doing great. Breaking the cycles we are in. Someone had asked me to do this video on how we can try to enhance our lives when we're stuck in repeating patterns, right? And a lot of us get in these moments where it seems like we keep getting close and then something happens, or so I keep repeating the same situation, or people keep cutting me off, or people keep being rude to me at the grocery store, or there's something that keeps happening that's bothersome at the very least, and certainly could be extremely annoying and well beyond that, right? So some of these cycles, what's going on? What's really at work? How can we fix it? Where do I go? Like, I know I've got one. What do I do? Well, okay, a couple things that kind of help. Psychology, at least our psychology, is very much kind of like, I don't know for those of you that saw that, there was a Bill Murray movie back in the day. It was called Groundhog Day. Great movie. And basically what happens is he keeps waking up to the same day over and over and over. And it's a great movie if you haven't seen it. It's fun. It's creative. It was done years ago, probably well over 20 years at this point, I'm assuming. But that being said, we kind of get into these routines and don't realize it. And so certain things happen. We unconsciously maybe do this, or some happens. Someone makes a comment, and we just autopilot back at them. Used to be something fun I'd do at the coffee shop when I worked there, but someone would come in and ask something odd, and it would get you out of your robotic response. And they would say something like, "Have a nice," or like when I go to the gym, he'll say, "Have a nice workout," and I'll be like, "You too," and I'd be like, "Wait, I guess you're not really working out. Sorry, I don't mean that," right? So we get one of those program responses that a lot of us don't realize we're doing. So understand that our psychology is just kind of running around willy-nilly, oftentimes doing what we always do, and we don't realize it, right? We're kind of running on autopilot in a lot of cases. Now, certainly examples of this that can happen. We can get destructive relationships. Sometimes we find ourselves in relationships with people that might not have been the best choice, right? We keep doing that. We keep finding people that are taken or attached or not available, or we like to self-sabotage ourselves sometimes, right? That's redundant. But again, we'll try so hard to do all the right things, but like maybe trying to lose weight, for example, but every time we go to the store, we can't help but walk down the snack aisle and grab some cookies while we're there. Hey, look, I won't eat them. I won't eat them when I get home, but we'll just have them around for when we're good, right? And then what we find out we do is, like, we rip open that package and we eat the whole thing of cookies. And yeah, they're delicious, but then, right, we can have that guilt that follows, and then that creates more of the same thing. Again, chronic lateness, drinking too much, bad financial decisions, right? Like how many times you just keep spending money on things you shouldn't, right? We get patterns. We do this with specific people as well. Obviously, picking the same people that aren't available to us, potentially a lot of aspects to this can be at work, right? So how do we get out of these routines, these habitual things that keep happening to us? Now, the human nature, we love repetition. We love repetition. We love kind of structure. We like kind of similar things. We don't, most of us, we might be crazy in our own little ways, but for the most part, you still wake up every day the same basic time. You eat the same basic breakfast, right? Like you always do your runs on your specific days, and you do your exercises this day, or you always drive the same way to work, or always park in the same exact spot at work, right? There's all these different things that so many of us fall into. We love repetition. Not that there's necessarily anything wrong with it. If you've got something that you're repeating, that's wonderful. Like every time I put my hand out, someone puts $100 bill in it. Yeah, I'm just keep putting my hand out. That's my kind of repetition. Let's do this. I can do this almost all day. Eventually my arm will get sore. Can I switch it up? Am I allowed to use both hands? Oh, awesome. I'm going to make a ton of money doing this, right? Now the unconscious mind too, kind of understanding how it works in us. And there's a point to this, so I hope you guys give me the moment. But the unconscious mind generally tries to deal with, things that maybe are split off. There's personality issues that'll pop into there. Unwanted stuff, boring stuff, mundane stuff, but things I don't want to bother with. We tend to do those things on a very unconscious level. And certainly there can be some very frightening things that maybe happen to us at some point, and those get kind of buried into the unconscious mind. I think Freud called it regression, or maybe I'm misstating. I'm not a psychology person, never really was all into it, but people intrigue me, so I guess I somewhat follow it. So we have this whole unconscious mind thing at work. We have this whole autopilot thing at work. We have this desire to repeat things over and over because repetition is easy and fun. So you understand the core now, kind of the component. What's going on? What's the problem? What happens, right? So one other aspect that I've seen that tends to come into play, and I think a lot of us do it, especially when we're trying to get ourselves out of this behavior, right? Trying to change something. Maybe, for example, I haven't been going to the gym for a week, right? So now all of a sudden I start thinking about it. I'm like, man, I need to go to the gym. Yeah, I need to go to the gym. I should go to the gym. I am totally going to go to the gym. I am going to go to the gym. And you keep saying things with all the intentions out there that you're planning on doing something like go to the gym. But you keep saying things that are in the separating yourself from it, putting it in a different place, and basically manifesting this constant desire to want to go to the gym, but not have managed to get there yet. Maybe you're too busy. Maybe you couldn't get down there. Maybe you only had a small window. Whatever. Looks like I'm finding all sorts of reasons not to get to the gym. When in reality, what I should say is, I'm going to the gym. I'm going to go to the... I'm going to the gym. Or at 2 o'clock today, I'm putting time on my calendar and I'm going to the gym. It's a little more of a specific, I'm doing this, versus I need to do this. I should do this. I'd better do this. It'd be a good idea if I did this. How many of us are saying those comments inside of ourselves right now? And we're like, I don't know why I can't get out of this routine. Because you keep saying, I should do this. I could do this. I'm gonna do this. You're manifesting exactly that. Do it. Actually go out and do it. And really, that is the final part of this whole getting out of a cycle. Doing something different. It was Einstein, at least he gets credit for it, but the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over with the hopes of getting a different outcome. Do something different. When you realize that you're probably operating on autopilot, start paying attention to what's going on when you're walking about. When you keep having interactions with people, pay attention to what you're saying. Don't just be absent-mindedly typing away on your phone. Maybe actually engage the person in conversation. Put the phone down for a second or look them in the eye for a second and have the conversation rather than just saying the same thing you've been saying every day and wondering why I'm not creating a new outcome. Why aren't things getting different or better? I did exactly what I did yesterday. Why would it not be better today? Einstein's definition of insanity would ask. Look at what we're doing. Pay attention to what we're doing. Pay attention to what we're putting out into the world. Pay attention to the things that we keep doing unconsciously. Pay attention to those little moments. If you're repeating something and you would like to change that, that's certainly when paying attention is going to benefit you. If everything's going groovy in your life and you're fine with where you're at and there's nothing kind of repetitive or nothing like popping up like that, yeah, you're fine. Keep doing the autopilot, man. It's probably doing you good, right? You're worried about the things you should be and you're kind of autopiloting your way through the stuff that, I got to get groceries. I got to do the laundry. right? There's certain things that maybe we just don't worry about as much. They happen. Maybe this is a good time for meditation or whatever. They've always said anything you do while focusing is a form of meditation. But that being said, getting off topic, do something different is the big after the finale, the big everything that you get from, none of this makes sense. Let's try to say it differently. Doing something differently is how you break a cycle. It's how you break a habit. It's how you change directions. You do something different. Whatever you did last time, don't do that this time. Do it differently. Say it differently. Use different words. Go a different way to work. Do something different and see what happens. You will find it is quite amazing when you do. hopefully this helps you guys. If you like what I'm doing, please subscribe. Please share my videos. Please comment. Please all these things. And in the comments, if you'd like as well, you can ask for other videos. Always other types of shows, questions you have, all this stuff. I don't know what's wrong with my brain right now. Yes, but all that good things. Subscribe. You can push the little picture of me. You can do the little bell icons, bling, and every time I do something, it'll push that out for you. So thank you very much for joining us on this wonderful video. We've got more awesome ones coming, I promise. And yeah, breaking the cycles we're in. Do something different. It's the big trick. Thanks. It's Dan Radio Style.